Hi and welcome to the show. Today we are going to be making this little altar domino book, and I'll show you. This is one that I pre-made. The one tonight I'm going to be making is just it's different images and stuff. And let me get it untied so you guys can see the inside. So I'll hold it up nice and close. And then you turn it over, and there's the back side, the image that I put on the back side, and here are the images on the inside. And you know what? I've decided these would be so cute if you didn't put feet on them, and you put like a little hang tag. This would be so cute with some Christmas images to hang on your Christmas tree as an ornament. So let's get started. You're going to need 2 of the 1x2 dominoes, and they're the larger dominoes. You're going to need a small image. You can use any kind of your decorative paper or anything that you have. You can stamp an image on a piece of paper and stick it on here. Where I got these images, this is the Mermaid and Fairy collection, and I have the one that I'm going to be doing tonight is actually the vintage Alice in Wonderland images, and I got these from a store on Etsy called the Photo Cube. And if you go to her store and you type in her store search 1x2, all her 1x2 images will come up. She has some fabulous images, let me tell you. Just so I can show you an example of how to get the domino done, I'm actually using this mermaid image, but I had to pre-make these because we put a glaze over the top, and I don't know if you can see that shine, and then I spickled the sides. It's the Photo Cube on Etsy. So the first thing I did, I'm going to put my image aside, and I'm just going to put one domino aside because I'm just going to show you what I did to the dominoes. I'm actually going to be using alcohol ink and the Adhering alcohol ink mixative in silver. And this one is denim, and I have also like a green color called Bottle. And I have my old grungy little piece of, and I kind of like, I know when you add these colors to this little special whatever it is thing, it activates the other colors underneath, and I kind of like that look. So I'm just putting a couple of different colors side by side on this. And this usually attaches to your distressing tool, but I find that very hard to operate this way, so I like to be messy. And all I'm going to do is just start blotting. And like I said, I love being messy, so this does not bother me one bit. And I'm just going all around, and you're going to let that dry, and you're going to have to flip it over and do the other side. And if you want to clean your surface, I use the disinfectant wipes because it takes the alcohol ink right off my fingers and everything. Thank you, Bonnie. Yeah, she charges $2.50 for a sheet, and at the Photo Cube shop, and there's 30 images on it. That's enough to do 3 of these books because you're only going to use 10 of the images. Just cleaning my fingers off of the alcohol ink. for a minute. There. Trying to let this dry. So while this is drying, I'm gonna kind of jump around because there's like steps where we have to let things dry. So instead of just sitting here watching something dry, I figured I would show you how to do a few other things. To make the legs, and these are the legs that I made for tonight. Let me see if I can get it. Yep. That would be cute too if Nichelle made some small, shrunk her images down. You could do little doodle heads. That'd be awesome. So to make the legs, hang on, I'm grabbing. You're going to need a head pin, and that's, if you make stick pins, it looks like a needle with a little nail head on it. Okay, so you're going to need one of these. You're going to need 2 beads, and I'd say don't get too big, and you're going to use, this is called a bead cap, and I have another one here which is a different kind of bead cap that I'm going to put in between the beads. See if I can get closer. I gotta remember to get closer. And what I'm going to do is grab some glossy accents. Let me get my beads to sit still. And I gotta poke my, it gets clogged up, so I gotta, alright. So all I'm gonna do is I'm going to put the bead cap on, so the pin is down at the bottom. And before I push it all the way down, I'm going to squirt some glossy accents right down inside there. And then I'm just going to push the bead cap all the way down so it rests on the inside bottom of the bead cap. So then I'm going to take my glossy accents again, and I'm going to go around the top of the bead cap just a little bit. You don't need very much. And then I'm going to slide my first bead on. I'm going to take the other bead cap that I have and slide that on, and I'm going to put some glue on that. And you just kind of have to hold it with your finger. I know you probably can't see, and I can't tilt it too much. So then I'm going to take my last bead and slide it on there. And then you are going to, right where the, right where the needle part of the pin and the bead meet, you're going to put glue. And then you're going to set this aside because you want this to dry. And I always try to straighten out in case because this is kind of funny. Try to get it nice and straight. And this is what I do. I have one of these big clips, and I will clip it in here, and then I will hang it. So it'll hang straight, and my beads will stay where I want them to. And I'll let them dry for a couple hours. Okay? So I'm just going to set this over here for right now. Alright. So I think that is dry. So let me get the ink on the other side. And you're going to ink the whole domino. You know what? I want a little bit more silver. So I'm just going to add a little bit more silver because the silver is not showing up too well. And I kind of And then I'm going to set that aside and let that dry. You're going to let that completely dry. And then I'm going to clean this off because I don't want any of this alcohol ink to transfer onto my image or anything. And clean my fingers off real quick here. Yes, Sue made the winning Tussy Mossy. Of course, I didn't pick it by who made the best. I did random.org, so it was just a random drawing. It wasn't a talent contest. But Sue made a beautiful Tussy Mossy. Beautiful, beautiful. Well, all you ladies made beautiful Tussy Mossies. Okay, so I'm going to grab my image, and I always like to ink the edges just a little bit. I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to see if this is dry. Alcohol ink dries pretty quick. Okay, so we're going to adhere not on the domino side where the holes are, but on the back side. And we are going to use Mod Podge for this. So let me get out my Mod Podge. And I always put some on the boy, my brush got awfully stiff. Oh, there it goes. It's having troubles. You know, my fingers are dirty. And then I'm going to put some Mod Podge on the back of the image. And make sure you get the corners really, really good when you put the Mod Podge on. And I'm just going to stick this right on the domino. I'm going to center it. And I'm just holding it in place. And I'm going to go around the edge just a little bit to get off the excess that, you know, you always have a little bit that squeezes out. And just making sure that all my corners are really, really stuck down really, really good. And you can see that mottled effect on the side? That's what the silver mixative and the blue and the green alcohol inks do when you mix them together. It makes this really cool. Now sometimes what I'll do is take the liquid leaf and go around the edge of the domino just to give a different look. But I actually like how this turned out, so I'm just going to leave it like this. Because see, with this one, I went around the edge with some red stickles to make it shiny. Okay. So then, your next step, if you're not going to put a different color like around your edge, you can do that. Your next step is going to be using triple thick. You can get this at Michael's. In the craft paint section, they usually have it. And it's a brilliant brush-on gloss glaze. Okay? And that's what makes my image look like it's behind like glass. So all I do is I take my bottle and I'm going to squirt a whole bunch on. And you can see I have quite a glob on there. Okay, and then you're just going to gently spread it around so it's even. And you want a nice thick coat. You don't want it real thin. You want a nice thick coat. So you want to spread it around and make sure it's even, and then you're going to want to tilt it in the light. And make sure that you got all your corners covered and everything. Okay? And you can see how you can see it looks kind of like glass. And then you're going to let that completely dry. Now I usually let mine dry overnight. Okay? So I'm going to set that one aside, and now we're going to work on the Alice in Wonderland one. I'm going to just kind of put this up out of my way because I know I'll stick something on it. So here are the two dominoes that I did, and this is the front and this will be the back of my book. So the next step I want to show you is how to make the little book on the inside. And you are going to need a 1 7/8 inch wide piece of paper by 9 inches in length. Okay? And then you're going to need a scoreboard. If you don't have a scoreboard, you'll have to use a ruler and a bone folder or whatever. So you are going to score every 7/8 of an inch. Okay, and the easiest way to do that is 7/8 is the little line, and I'm doing this for you, Christine. It's a little line right before the number. That first line right before the number. Okay, and then to figure out where 7/8 inch is again, you're going to count over from your score 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this will be your next score line. Okay, and you're going to do that all the way down. Every 7/8 of an inch. And you're going to have, you should have 10 lines. Yeah, 10 lines, sorry. I had to count them. Okay, so if you notice, you probably aren't going to be able to see it with my camera. Let me see. Can you see this? Okay, here we go. There's a little piece right here, and you're just going to cut that off. And so just a little extra piece And you're just going to cut that right off. Just like that. And discard it. You don't need it. So then you're going to accordion fold to make your book. Just like that. I'm just squeezing it so alright. So it should look like this. Okay. So I have one that I have inked and ready for images. And you are going to have to, if you use the images that you purchased from the photo cube, you are going to want to trim them down so they're inside your fold lines. You don't want them hanging over. You should have a border going around both sides. Okay? And what I did is I found some coordinating cardstock, and I'm going to do opposite. So I'm going to start out with that. And this is how I'm going to be putting this book together. Oh, I'm missing. How am I missing images? Did I do this upside down? Hang on. For some reason I'm missing images and I shouldn't be missing images. That's weird. Oh, that's right. This is actually the back side. And these two, when you get to the back side, the first ones on either end you're going to be gluing. So you don't want to put an image on the back side. See, I've already done the front side. So this is the back side. You do not want to put a picture here or here. You are going to start in at the second one. That's what I did wrong. See, I need to get it together, people. I think it's all the medicine I've been taking. I'm kind of in la-la land. Just like that. So they're going to go just like that, and the two ends are going to stay blank because you're going to glue these in onto the dominoes. So I've cut out my images, and like I said, you want to make sure that they fit inside the fold lines. If they're butted up to the fold lines, the book isn't going to fold right. So you want to make sure that there's a border all the way around. And I'm just using glossy accents to glue these in. I like the glossy accents because you can control better how much glue comes out, and you don't have like squishies coming out the top and bottom. So I'm just going to glue my images in real quick here. I want to make sure. Okay. I had to double check to make sure your images are going in the same direction as the ones on the other side when you do this. And you don't want to embellish these up too much with anything thick because then they won't fold up. So if you decide you want to put embellishments on it, I would suggest you keep them as flat as possible. Nothing too bulky, in other words. Okay. I'm almost done. I got 2 more to glue down. And then we can move on to getting the dominoes ready to glue our little book to. And I just hand cut these with my scissors. I know some people out there are fussy and want them perfect. I'm not a perfect person, so I don't mind if they're a little off or anything. Okay, so I have my book all ready to go. And both sides I got the images on. So I'm going to set it aside for right now. And I have my 2 dominoes, so I always want to make sure you know which one's going to be your front and which one's going to be your back. And you're going to flip them over. I have some ribbon, and I prefer the sheer stuff or even the vintage seam binding would work. And I'm just going to I used the vintage seam binding on the one that I have already done, so I thought I'd use some ribbon for this one. I'm just cutting, I had a big huge piece, so I'm cutting it down here. I don't need this piece. This used to be white, and I colored it with my Lindy sprays. I used Screamin' Banshee Black, and that's a Starburst spray, and Cranberry Mist Burgundy. And I kind of alternated them and sprayed it and then dried it, and that's how I got this color. And it matches my domino. So what you're going to do, let me move one of these out of the way. You're going to have 2 pieces, and you're going to glue this to the back of your domino right in the center. So let me I'm using Beacon 3-in-1 for this. Yes, I do buy seam binding on Etsy. There's a lot of ladies on there that have it. Frog Feathers is one of them. I think she used to. I don't know if she does anymore. She used to have seam binding. Okay. And I just glued that right on, so I have a tail on this side and a tail on this side, because this is what you're going to use to tie. So let me glue this one on. So I have both of my dominoes have a piece of ribbon glued to the back. Okay. And now we can glue our book together, and you're going to want to make sure that this is where you're going to put the glue. It doesn't have any paper, it doesn't have an image. You want to make sure you have this right, and that your domino is in the right direction, also your image on your domino. And I'm just using the Beacon 3-in-1, and I'm just going to put a whole bunch of glue on here. And I'm going to center it. Make sure it doesn't hang over your edges of your domino. Make sure you got it nice and centered. And we're going to let that just kind of rest up for a minute. Alright, so I'm going to let this side set right here for a minute because I want to show you something. My domino isn't dry up here, but you can see that I colored inside the dots on this domino. So all I used was some of this, the alcohol metal mixatives to put inside each of the dots. You can also use your liquid leaf. You can use rub and buff. Those are the only suggestions I can give you to fill that, because it is a plastic, so you couldn't use like craft paint or anything. You could if you put if you covered them in gesso. That would work. So I'm going to move this down and make sure it's not moving. Now it's still moving just a little bit, but I think I can. And I want to get my other side glued onto my other domino. And make sure your ribbons are out of the way when you do this. I've actually accidentally glued the ribbon where it wasn't supposed to be. Okay. So make sure it's nice and centered in the domino. And press it down really, really good. And then we can close it up and tie it, and that will hold your book in place. Okay, I gotta tie it off camera because I gotta hold it in my lap for a second. Well, just the one side. I can tie the other side in just a minute. Alright. So I just had to get one side tied. And you're gonna cut your excess off once we get the book completely done. And you just tie some really cute bows, and they don't have to be perfect. They can be messy. So I have both sides tied, and it's holding my book together while it dries. Yeah, definitely want to use cardstock for your little book for the inside. Don't use, if you're going to use thin paper, you can use that as your decorative piece of paper that you're going to put onto the cardstock. Okay, so we're going to obviously pretty up the front just a wee bit, and I have some fun stuff that we're going to play with. I cut these off of a chipboard die cut, and I am going to glue that up here. So, what I did, this came off of, and I should have brought the die cut over here. It was a frame, and it was the bottom part that I had cut off. This actually went right here, like this. Okay, so I cut that off. I used the silver metal mixatives, and then I took my black distress ink. After the metal mixatives dried, I took my black distress ink and I dabbed it on, and it's not going to show up until you add the glossy accents over top, and it created this really cool, like, marble effect. Okay. Oh no, we're not done yet. Don't get crazy, guys. We still have legs to put on and decorations and whatnot. These are very fast to make, believe it or not. The only thing is the dry time when you put the triple thick on. That's what really slows you down. I'm just going to add this. Make sure it's straight on the front. I'm going to add one to the back piece as well. And I'm just using my scissors and going in and pressing it down so it adheres. If you're wondering what I'm doing. And I'm just going to check it, make sure it's straight. And that's what I've done on both sides. Okay, so the front of this needs to be a little prettied up, just a wee bit, I think. We need to add some dimension. So I found these, I don't know where I got them. I think they are some kind of confetti, but they're made out of like kind of like an aluminum metal. Oh, they're little tiny little guys too, and they don't want to come out. But oops. See? They're little hearts. Hi, Mixed Media Art. Welcome. So I'm going to put, because the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland is on my front cover here, I'm going to play with a placement of these little metal hearts up here. And I'm just using my 3-in-1 to glue. Okay, I'm using the silver, the big red and the little silver hearts, and I'm just adding them to this corner. And then I'm going to add a white rose and a couple of these small closed roses, and I just took and inked the ends with red to go with my Queen of Hearts. So we're going to add the rose right here. So let me get my rose added. Like that. And then I'm going to tuck these little tiny roses in. Oh, I should probably cut them a little bit shorter. And I'm just using the E6000, or E6000. No, I don't like that stuff. I'm just tucking some little roses in there. I gotta cut this one down too. Oops. Come on. There we go. And I'm just going to tuck this guy right in over here. So that's what I did. I got my little rose in there. Yeah, we do need a who's who of publication. You are so right, Miss Mixed Media Art. Yeah, I can't do the E6000. It's like, I don't know. I think it's a little too toxic for me. So I have this little teapot charm. And he is going to go right up on the top here. And I'm going to tilt him just like that, if you can see. And here again, I'm just using my Beacon 3-in-1 because it's non-toxic. Well, it is toxic, but it's not. It's less fumey. So I have my little teapot glued at the top up here. Come on, camera. Okay. You can tune a shell. You can work small. It takes practice, but you can do it. Okay, so here are my legs, and I showed you guys how to make the legs. And when you're done, when this is all dried, okay, on your stick pin, you see you have all this extra stick pin. You are going to take your wire cutters, and you have like a flat edge and then an edge that's like, what is that called? Concaved. Is it concaved? Concaved is, I don't know, but it's dipped in. We're going to come up with our own terms tonight, guys. Okay, so you want to use the flat edge, and you're going to lay it right on top of the bead, that top bead, and you're going to snip this off. So that way, you don't have any of the needle parts sticking up out of your bead. Okay? So that's how you do that. And to glue these little feet on, oops, I just pulled my little decoration off here. I gotta get in here with my little scissors again and press them down. You know, it's been like really moist here because we've had like a lot of rain and thunderstorms, and nothing's drying here. It's weird. Okay, so our last step is we're going to put the feet on the bottom. Now you can put the feet on the bottom if you want yours to stand up like this one. Okay. Oops, I kind of probably went too fast, didn't I? This one just stands up on it. You can stand it up on a table or whatever. Or, if you didn't want it to stand up, you could always put like a loop of ribbon at the top, and you can hang it off of something too. Like your Christmas tree. Okay? But I've chosen to put feet on because I like feet. It makes it look very elegant. My husband called this is really funny. I brought this down to show my husband, and I said, okay, so this is what a domino book looks like. And he goes, whoa, it looks like a Fabergé egg. So now he's calling this the Fabergé domino. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, this is the bottom. I'm going to put glue. I'm using the Beacon 3-in-1, and it works really well. Oh yeah, you can make these into necklaces too, guys. Wouldn't that be cute? Make this for some grandma and put the little kids' pictures in. Oh my gosh, how cute. And I'm just going, centering it and making sure it's over far enough that it's not going to interfere. Uh-oh. Something just dropped. And I didn't put enough glue. Hang on. You gotta get quite a bit of glue on here. And I'm just holding it for a few seconds. And this will probably drop off, and that's okay because I gotta get the other leg on. I gotta put more glue on this one. I'm gonna get creative. Put that bottle underneath there. You guys have to get creative when you're doing this kind of stuff because you're always gonna have something that doesn't cooperate too well. So I'm using this bottle to hold my legs on so I can get the other one on. So what I'm going to do is flip it over, and you're going to see this is going to be super easy. Once you get all 4 of your legs glued on, and you're going to put 2 on the front domino and 2 on the back domino, and then you're just going to stand it up and let it dry, and the legs will adhere. Oops, not enough glue. I just want to keep it in the vicinity of where it's going to go so I can glue on the other leg, and then we can stand it up. I'm not having good luck tonight with this. Alright, we'll get it, we'll get it, we'll get it. Okay. So I'm just standing it up, positioning the legs, okay, and then we're just going to let it stand there and dry. Don't move it. Don't do anything. Just let it stand there and dry. Make sure your legs are straight and everything all the way around. And I just kind of give it a little press. And we're going to let that guy dry. Oh, I need a paper towel. Oh, that sounds like fun. Mixed media art, are you Judy? That doesn't usually take a day, but, you know. No, I won't have crooked legs. Don't worry. This is challenge, let me tell you. This is probably going to be your most challenging part, is to put the feet on. I'm going to warn you. But it'll dry so you can touch it and move it. And I want to add some of these roses to the back part. Like I put the teapot right here. So I want to put something in the back here just to decorate it up a bit. And I just have some roses that I'm going to add. So a red one and a white one. And I do have 2 more of the little closed bud roses that I tipped with red ink. So I am just going to add them right on the top here. Tiny roses. Yeah, question. Oh, I saw a question. Yeah, I remember to record. Oh, you made me nervous there. I thought, oh gosh, did I not press record? But I did. I did. And I'm going to add these kind of coming down into the domino. The little rosebud. I'm going to bend the little stem. And I'm going to tuck them right in there. And I'll turn it around just a minute. You guys can see this. Okay. Let's see what I'm doing. Right now I'm trying to wait for my glue to get to the tip. Gotta bend it. And I'm going to tuck it in under this white one. How's our legs holding up? Oh, they're fine. Okay. So I was wiggling it around, so I wanted to make sure I didn't move my legs out of place. And let's see. Oops. Just adjusting my flowers. Okay. So that is what I did to the back. Oops. Oh, ribbon's in the way. Metal board. This is a old from our old refrigerator. It's one of the glass shelves, and it's tempered, so I can do anything I want to it. So my legs just kind of flopped a little bit, but that's okay. We're gonna fix them. They're not quite ready to be moved. So that is pretty much it. That is how you do this. Simple. They're really super fast. The only thing, like I said, that's time consuming is waiting for the triple thick to dry on the top of your domino. And that's pretty much it. And waiting for your legs to dry. But you don't have to add legs. You can add a hanger to the top. You can turn it into a necklace. There's a lot of things you can do with this. They make awesome Christmas ornaments. Yep, it's from an old refrigerator. I could try to open it. I'm hoping, because I gotta wait for the legs to dry. But we're gonna get it. And you always want to make sure you trim these off. Your ties on the side. I'm just gently getting the ribbon so I can open the book. And there's the Mad Hatter, the March Hare. Oops. The Queen and the Cheshire Cat. Oops, my legs are going wonky. That's one side. And then when I turn it around, we have, definitely gonna have to fix my legs when I'm done. We have the White Rabbit, the Caterpillar, a couple Alice images, and a Queen image. No, not my legs. The book's legs. Woo! Yeah, they kind of... I gotta retie this. But actually, let me move this one off to the side, and I'll bring back the one that I have all done, and you guys can see. I'm just fixing a leg so it'll stand up. Kind of had it. Okay. So you can just stand these up like this, like on a coffee table. Hi, Dar. And then here's the back images. And of course the front of the domino with the legs on it. And this one has a butterfly at the top up here. And let me open this one up all the way here. That might be helpful. And this one just has a little metal piece that says Dream. And then you close it up and you tie up your sides, and you got something really cute standing on your little coffee table, or even in like a little shadow box. See? Christine, are you all done giving out the bingo words for the group? Or are you still working on getting words out? Whoops. Oh, geez, I'm knocking stuff off here now. I don't know what just went shooting. Oh. What are we posting a picture of? Oh, thank you, Froggy. I will post pictures of the Alice in Wonderland Facebook is when the legs are dry. I'll take pictures and post them so you guys can see it all done. Oh, post a Halloween project in the group. Okay, did you guys get that? If you post a Halloween project in the group, you get another bingo word. We're going to make you work for your words, guys. Okay. Bye, Judy. Thank you for coming. Oh, we do? I didn't know Christine and I sound alike. Christine, did you know that? We sound alike. Okay, Dee Dee, thank you for coming. Aw, I didn't know we sounded alike. But my family is, my mom's side of the family is from Minnesota, and I grew up in Onalaska, Wisconsin, before I moved to Erie, Pennsylvania. So I kind of have that Midwestern accent mixed in with a Pennsylvania accent, mixed in with the New York accent now. Oh, thank you, Nichelle. And like I said, I'll post pics. The legs have to dry. Once the little legs dry, I can post pics and, yeah, it's a little bit of Heinz 57. My dad was, worked for the National Weather Service, so we traveled around a lot. And before that, he was in the Air Force. Yes, you do, Christine. You have a Midwestern accent. Oh, thank you, Sue, for coming. Yep. Only because you're used to it. You can't hear yourself because you sound like everybody else in Illinois. Now, if you would move to New York, everybody will point out your accent right away. They'll be like, I can't understand you. I get that all the time. I can't understand what you're saying. Like I'm speaking a foreign language. Yes, you do sound cute, Christine. So, next week's class, again, it's going to be Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll be doing this every Sunday now. I think we're going to alter some matchboxes. How's that sound? Oh, good night, Dar. Alright, thank you all for coming. And if you're watching the recording, thank you for watching the recording. If you have any questions, you can find me on YouTube. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on blog, thealteredmusestudio.com. There's a little side. On the side, you can email me if you need to get a hold of me.